Hello everyone, my name is Rebecca and welcome back to my Pixel Quest. Welcome back of course to our not so blind now playthrough of Subnautica Below Zero. I've had a ton of fun in this game. I'm so fulfilled having played this game finally after having people recommend it for so long after falling in love with original Subnautica. I'm sad to say that this might be the final episode of this particular playthrough series. You never know, there could be another episode in it if people have any other suggestions for me. But look at this, the sun is rising on our beautiful planet that has been so kind to us. Kind with a big asterisk mark, also put us through hell, given us all kinds of health issues, danger, but so much beauty, so much love as well. I've had a great time with this game. So, what I want to do, I've said this before, I wanted to have this final episode. I needed to do some preparation for it. So I'm going to show you today what I've been preparing off scenes, but what I want to get us started on first is just a couple of things. As you can see, we're in Glowwhale Bay, or we're at least very close to Glowwhale Bay. That's my name. In my game, that's what this is called. And there are beautiful friends up there that I now know I can take a ride on if I want to. So I want to show you a couple of things. First are just a couple of clips that happened while I was playing offline that I just quickly made sure I recorded because I wanted to show you. But actually, first, before that, what I really want to show you is this amazing meme made for us by the meme master, Part-Time Dogfish. Thank you so much for all of your hard work and creativity, Part-Time. This, as always, made me laugh so much. It made me so happy. I adore it. It's so good. And it's so true. It is so true. It is so true. ... However, I want you to keep this meme in your mind this episode. I want us all to hold this meme dear to our hearts as we go through this episode. Okay. Thank you, Part-Time Dogfish. As always, I super appreciate your effort. And I really hope that you enjoy this episode. So, as I said, there's a couple of clips I want to show you as well. One is just me realizing, in one of the clips I showed in the previous episode, I noticed that I had failed to pick up a jukebox disc. I noticed that when I reviewed the footage and I went, oh my god, like it's right there sitting on the box. So I just want to let you know, if you also knew that I did eventually pick it up. I picked it up conceptually and then I went and actually picked it up in the game. So I have it now. And one other clip of me finding some really interesting eggs. Okay, I'm getting the recording going again because I've just found these two interesting creature eggs. Look at them. Very pretty and weird and odd. I kind of think these look like squid sharks. It's a bit hard to tell. Wow. Nice. Okay, now that is the perfect point to head on over to our first destination today. We are indeed starting today's episode in Glowwhale Bay. I kind of consider this like my home is always in the shallows. That is always my home. But I really feel like this is my selected home. And you will notice Glowwhale Bay has grown a little. Glowwhale Bay has experienced some changes. Not to my neighbours. Neighbours are more or less the same. So let's go and take a look. Let's go and take a look at what has happened with Glowwhale Bay. First off, you can already see from the outside here, I've done a little bit of change in colouring. However, I have also attached my sea truck dock because I learned that was possible. And I went, oh, how novel. Let's try having a sea truck dock that isn't just floating around the place. So I've done that. Let's head on in. You know, a few little changes here and there. Things have been neatened up. I actually have gotten rid of my my energy source here. Let's have a little snack. And things like that have freed up a bit of time, a bit of space rather, for some more windows in our first entry point here. It's always nice to come into a big room with lots of windows, right? So that's very nice. Let's head on up. This is kind of the same as it was, but yeah, you can see how expansive Glowwell Bay has become. Let's move on. Oh, hello. It's kind of a little lobby, like a little waiting room. Isn't this nice? Isn't this green and refreshing? With some little friends to check out. Hello, little friends. I'm a big fan of the spinny fish, I tell you what. But I do like I'm a fan of all of you. I'm a fin of all of you. This is nice. You can have a little sit here just before you embark on the rest of your Glowwell Bay adventure. And it is a little bit of an adventure. In fact, you can also have a little bit of fruit. I take care of my my visitors. There's a marble melon there. In fact, there's many marble melons. It's melon madness in here. So this is how you can prepare for your journey. Now, we've got a lovely kind of expanded tank up here. This building was already here, but it's all been improved. It's all been glassified. You guys know me. I like everything as much as possible to be made out of glass. Oh, hello. It's one of the beautiful beds. I think this is Zeta's bed, right? Zeta's extremely gorgeous bed. Look at this for a bedroom. Look at this for a floor. Lots of little guys in here. And of course, these are the products of those eggs I found. They were indeed squid shark eggs, which was a surprise to me at the time because I thought I had already by that point found squid shark eggs. While I had been going around here, as you can imagine, to build all of this and many of the other things we will see in this episode, I've been doing a ton of resource collection. That's why it's been kind of serious offline work, because a lot of it hasn't been hugely interesting. I didn't want to just have hours and hours and hours of resource collection, but that's what it has been. It's been going back and forth, picking up titanium, picking up glass, picking up titanium, picking up glass, etc., 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 building. So that's all been offline work, because it hasn't been interesting enough for me to incorporate into this playthrough. Look at this. Isn't this pretty? What a location, right? Let's have a little sleep while we're here. Look how good this is. Look how lovely that is as a bedroom. As long as you're not terrified of the ocean, but that really goes for everything in this game. Oh, nice. Lovely. Great. Now it's nighttime. We've lost our light. And I'm not yet tired enough to sleep, so that's that. It's nighttime now. Oh, well. Yeah, and so as part of that, that's why I came across a couple of things I hadn't seen before, like those eggs. But what I didn't record is that I had already found a couple of eggs while out here, just collecting some things around here. And I already thought that they were... our sharky eggs. No, they were not. No, they were not. Let's move on to the next room. Whoa. Check it out. Isn't that nice? I'll show you this in a second. It's an important feature. They actually turned out to be glow whale eggs. Glow whale eggs were around here, surprisingly. Hello. Whoa. That's the kind of shit you get here in Glowwell Bay, ladies and gentlemen. Really, truly up and close with the glow whales. Really, truly up and close. It's probably trying to get in because I've stolen its babies. But yeah, I came across those eggs and I just went, oh, these are probably squid shark eggs. And I, stuck them in here. Lo and behold, tiny baby glow whales. Look at them. They're so small. They're so small. Amazing. And they're not meant to be in here. So what we're going to do, because we respect the glow whale here, I've never done this before, I'm trying this for the first time. Inventory full. Okay, I can get 2 whales at a time. We are, of course, going to let these little guys go. Okay, we might as well go this way so I can show you my next feature. Moon pool. I actually realized it's convenient for me to have a whole new moon pool here and a whole new prawn. Let me introduce you to my second prawn. You know, the other one still exists. Mango still exists. This is a second prawn. Ginger. I've called her Ginger because I've made her the color of the kind of ginger that you get in, you know, like a lot of Japanese sort of donburi meals, like that kind of very bright ginger. And she is lovely. And she is very handy. And she's got a lot of cool upgrades. And this is her home. This is her home. But this is also a convenient exit for us. So let's swim up. Let's let these glow whales go. And let's put them, you know, I'm hoping that they will choose to make this their home. Whee! Off you go, fellows. Enjoy life in the vast ocean. But, you know, do feel free to stick around. Maybe this is your family. I mean, the eggs were right nearby. Okay, that's 2 whales. Let's go and get the rest, because, you know, I think for you know, this is obviously the whales' territory. What Glow Whale Bay is all about is respecting nature. It's about appreciating the local ecology. It's about respecting it. It's about, you know, respecting the heritage of the area. All of that, we take that very seriously here. So glow whales must be free. Must be free. We've simply cultivated them, you know, for reasons, just for reasons that I can't get into. There were definitely very valid reasons for the glow whales to be here. Last one, buddy, get excited. Are you ready for this? Your whole life you've been in that small tank in close quarters with all of your brothers and sisters. How is that? The vast ocean, baby. You like that? You like that? Is that refreshing? I hope so. I hope so. But if you do choose to stick around here, everybody, we will take care of you. We'll make sure that you're safe and have a good life. You know, as well as autonomy and freedom and all of that. So, I should also say, I've been saying this in all of my playthroughs at the moment, my voice is very gravelly because I'm still getting over a cold. And I'm a lot better. I'm certainly not 100%, but my voice is not 100%. So, yeah, you know, we're just gonna travel on because I don't know how long it's gonna take to get back to normal. All right, not much here, Yan. I haven't really populated this, but here I wanted to show you this. This is now my power source here, and check it out. I mean, you might have noticed the enormous amount of power I had at the top of the screen anyway. This is my very first nuclear reactor rather. I have never used one of these before, and I always knew it would be amazing because, you know, even in original Subnautica, like, obviously it was going to be a great power source, and it specifically says it's a power source for, like, you know, kind of, I can't remember the terms it uses, but like big compounds. Like, it implies it's for many, many buildings, right? In a sense, I just sort of never really felt the need for it in the last game and never really got around to it. And I guess I didn't really get around to it in most of this game either. However, once I started expanding the base, this was brilliant. It's so good. So, I've got my spare rods here, but quite frankly, I haven't even needed to touch them yet because it just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. I've, you know, done a bit of reinforcing here around the nuclear reactor in case of accident, but, you know, we cross our fingers and hope. And again, not much interior building has gone on here. However, I wanted to show you this. The lantern tree is my favorite tree in the game, for sure. It is just so perfect and beautiful. And this in a way is my conceptual tribute to our favorite guy in the last game. And I come here and just think about, his like how lovely a presence he was in the last game, and how he might have turned into a tree, which is a theory that I got from watching Little Indigestion's Subnautica playthrough. And once I heard it, that is totally my headcanon now, so I recommend watching that if you're at all interested. But yeah, I do think he turned into a tree. So that's kind of it. There's more buildings here, but again, like nothing is filled up yet. I've built, some nice platforms for looking out of. This building is mostly storage. This is where we store things for the facility here. It's it's eventually going to be like a big museum. So no need to go in there. It's all empty storage. It's where we store our lithium plates. So just on the building front, I have... Climb down. I have in a couple of places used I think just over here actually. Yeah. I have in a couple of places to, use the, what are these called? Totally forgotten the word. Bulkhead. I've used the bulkheads. And they're pretty good because, it gives you some reinforcement, gives you a certain amount of reinforcement that you can use kind of without too much fuss in any tunnels that you build. And, you've probably already seen, I've been building tunnels. However, they don't really give enough reinforcement, which is why I've chosen to sort of just kind of build these rooms to use the panels in, because they just give so much more. It's just kind of quick and convenient. All right, now, what's the main feature of Glow Whale Bay apart from its beautiful view and its principles around respecting the local environment, and of course its relationship with the local glow whale population? Well, it's this. Everybody, this is my giant glass viewing platform where you can really experience the ocean, experience the local environment in safety, as well as getting an introduction to local history. Now, we've been very careful, to just include some very, very, very subtle infrastructure, minimal, to preserve, the site as is. But here is where you can see and learn about the Mercury 2 and hear about its stories and things like that. The lights here are just to make things a little bit more visible, particularly at night. It's quite striking, although we have very, very, very good light here right now. Isn't this stunning? Isn't this great? A way to learn, a way to come to the planet and learn about its history, learn about its disasters, learn about its beauty, learn about its history, all while staying safe from the sharks, the squid sharks, and suffocation and drowning and all of those various things. Now, you can, spend as much time as you like here. And so we've also included a little refreshment station here. Plenty of food to eat. Yum yum. Delicious. If you did want to pop out for a little bit of a swim, you can do that. We might incorporate some diving activities into this, into some of the tours that we do here. And of course, practically everyone needs a bathroom. Look at this. What a fabulous bathroom. You can wash your hands here. We have all of the modern facilities, and if you need it, there's some nice scents there. You will only be bothered by the fish. Otherwise, here you go. Just a little stopping point for you. More glow wells here to appreciate. So let's move on this way, actually. I'm getting lost in my own museum. Check it out. So you guys know, if you've watched the previous Subnautica playthrough, you guys know I'm a fan of a big long glass tunnel. So this was my pride and joy in this area. This took a lot of quartz. Oh, hello, Pixel. Hello, darling. Our little darling kitty Pixel is here to join. You gonna come sit with me, darling? So, over here we've got another little stopping point. This is kind of building infrastructure here. Made it convenient to sort of get out, keep some materials here, etc. But we can go on. Now, check out this view, if you will. Wow. Pretty spectacular. This was a very interesting thing to find. I didn't actually really clock this giant... Oh, by the way, we have a Leviathan. A little resident Leviathan over here. I didn't really clock this properly during the playthrough. In fact, I've realized through building here how much of this area I haven't explored properly. And I have explored it a bit more now. Oh, hello. I have explored it a little bit more now, just through coming here to pick up glass, titanium, things like that. And literally, it was as I was standing here, as I went, this is the spot for building an observatory. Check it out, hey. That I was standing over here, and I looked in this direction, and faint as it is, you might not even be able to see it right now, I'm not sure, but faint as it is right in front of me, I realized there is a second vent garden. So this is my third vent garden realization. It's my second realization that I've missed something important about vent gardens, because my original vent garden is over here, and I knew it was over here because I had a beacon here for a while. It made it convenient. So I was immediately like, hang on, no, that's not the vent garden. That's another vent garden. And I actually haven't gone to check it out yet. I thought, let's do that together. So, this was all super interesting to kind of really realize, like, alright, this area, there's some fleshing out of this area that I haven't really engaged with in this playthrough. But isn't this stunning? Now I get to appreciate it. Alright, but we're not done yet. I'm going to take you to a lower level. We're going to head down. Isn't this nice? Oh, there's been an accident, apparently. Must have done something at some point. I don't even know what. I think this was fine last time I was here. Oh, well, look, we'll deal with it. Ridiculous. Anyway, I've built a scanner room just so I could look around for resources more easily. Check it out. Check out my infrastructure. Isn't that amazing? Minimal impact on the local environment. Okay, I'm gonna fix this before I take you on the rest of this tour. Alright, and we're good again. Nothing to see here. Please don't report us. Please don't report us to the health and safety officials. There was just one patch there that I needed to fix, but it's all good. It's all good now. That's a once in 100-year event. Please give us a good review on Google. Check it out. What a view. If you want to appreciate the majesty, the splendor of the incredible vent garden, or I should say, one of the incredible vent gardens, then this is the place to be. Look at this. Isn't this stupendous? This whole area is so incredible, actually. It's more incredible. Oh, hey, there's my other observatory. It's so much more incredible than I really you know, found out during most of the playthrough. But at least we made it here in the end. So again, little exit point if you wanted to go for a swim, if you actually want to visit the vent garden. But if you want to get a little bit closer, hey, we got you covered. We got you covered. Would you like to, you know, to stand for hours admiring this incredible being, this incredible sight, while still breathing air? At least now that we've fixed the corridor, then here you are. Here you are. Isn't this amazing? In fact, you might come here not to enjoy the sight, but simply to enjoy the music. The beautiful vent garden music. I love it. It's some of my favorite in the whole game. Man, I love the vent garden. I can't even tell you. So I was really thrilled. This was on my radar. I was like, for a really long time, the idea was bubbling. Like, I want to build a giant glass corridor and build an observatory right up and close, looking at the vent garden. I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased with this, and I'm very pleased that I got to show you. All right. Now, I myself am going for the first time to experience. In fact, let's go up. Let's go this way. We've got a choice of places to go. We can admire the tunnel on the way there. I'm going to go and check out the other vent garden for the first time. I'm not really expecting anything wild there. I'm expecting it does just look like this one, but I'm especially curious to go and see what is down below it. Hoping that we can avoid the chelicerae up there. We should be fine. We should be low enough. So here we go. I'm sure it's the same on the inside, right? I mean, I've kind of been around here to sort of pick up fragments for titanium and stuff like that. But yeah, I have not gone down underneath. Seems to be the same in every way I can see. God, it's so good. It's so stunning. This is one of the true highlights of this game. I love Vent Garden. I love Vent Garden. Alright, let's go and take a look. Yeah, so under the other vent garden, we had, we had lava. We had explodey lava for sure. So far same. But we also had an alien artifact. Oh! I did not even expect this. Whoa. Oh, surely there's a... Huh. There's dead fish. Oh, hang on. What's scannable here? Oh, that's just a fragment. Okay. Huh. No, I have been here. What? Ah! It's only just clicked. We came here oh, I get it now. I did not realize, obviously. We came through this way. This is the, I get it. I understand. I was like, I haven't been here. What? How's this been, how's this data box open? Okay. We came through the cave system there. We found Margot's other PDA. I didn't realize it was directly underneath an entirely different vent garden. Ah ha ha ha. Ah ha ha. I understand. Oh, well that was, I didn't know what to expect down there. I thought it could just be lava with like no artifact, or it could be another similar artifact or a different artifact, but yeah, I was very surprised to see that down there. Interesting. Oh, well, there you go. That was a realization for me because I didn't really... Like, I knew I came out somewhere or other in here when I came through that cave before. And I knew that I encountered a vent garden, but I kind of came out and went towards that vent garden, I think. Okay. Right.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Interesting. Well, I've learned... You know, this is a place of learning, and I myself have now learned something more, something fascinating about the local environment. What do you think, Chalicerate? You like that? You like that? Yeah, Chalicerate likes that. Alright, so this is the first sort of pit stop on our journey. Check it out. Check it out. Glowwell Bay has grown, baby. But I have more to show you. I have more to show you. Now that it's getting dark, I can show you actually what this lighting does if you're here at night. Look at that. Subtle. Subtle, you can barely even see the lights there. But it just creates enough lighting to make this visible. You could come here at night, look around, enjoy. Learn about the tragedy of the Mercury 2. The tragedy, the ingenuity, the amazing
fluid intake.
Characters, the fluid intake. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? I'm very pleased with this. I'm very proud. I'm very proud of the work we've done here to respond to the natural heritage. Alright. We're going to head off on the next part of our adventure now. Goodbye, Glowwell Bay. Alright, welcome back to the tour, everybody. I thought I'd start us off here just so that you had a bit more of an opportunity to locate. We're kind of at the Twisty Bridges area, and we're heading, let's say, more or less in the direction of the Hey, Pixie! The Phi Robotics area. There's our giant cable. Took me a while to really like piece together like that this was kind of pointing us towards that whole extra alien facility that I eventually found. But that's not what I'm showing you here today. If you come over this area, you may find yourself face to face with Disco Elysium. Disco Elysium. We're going to park the truck out of the way so we don't hide, so that we don't hurt any of our local residents. Check this out. I am very, very proud of this one. This is what I had always said I was going to do, was build a facility here, build a base here to celebrate the marvel of all of the beautiful creatures here, including the jellies. Now, you'll notice that it sort of says Disco Elysium, but that's because I couldn't get the extra E in there. I had to sacrifice it. It's just not, it was either sacrifice the space or the E, and this is what I went with. Isn't this great, though? Isn't this great? This base is dedicated to the jellies. The jellies freaking love it here. They in fact, they come super close. They want to get inside the base. They're a big fan. They love it, and they live. Whoa, they live together with my other faves. I'm just looking for one. There should actually be loads of them here. My lovely Arctic rays here, which these guys really fit together. They've got that same beautiful disco aesthetic. Just the best, just the absolute best. So yeah, so this area is dedicated to them and their awesome disco vibes. I wanted to sort of, I took inspiration from the shape of the eye jellies in the construction of the base as best as I could. So lots of little offshoots. Again, glass absolutely everywhere. Glass absolutely everywhere. Whoa. And, of course, know, kind of the same sort of view that you get looking down from an eye jelly. These are also little baby eye jellies that I'm going to be letting out soon. Might not do it on screen though, but trust me, I will do it. I will do it. So, there we go. That's one of the, this is another pride and joy. Absolute pride and joy. I love this place. I love this place. So let me show you around a little bit.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
You know, scanner room here. Got my usual bioreactor here. I haven't upgraded to nuclear facility. Look at that. Look at this view, though. I guarantee you, if I continue standing here for you know, more than a couple of minutes, like, these eye jellies are going to come right up to the window. They want to say hi. They love to say hi, and they love to come right up to your face to say hi. They really do. Plenty of, you know, the same kinds of absolutely lovely, what's the word? Oh, sorry. My sickness is not helping with my vocabulary. Alien containments here, you know, full of my favorite orange glowing plants, of course, and some of my, you know, favorite creatures, the glowing bladderfish that have meant so much to me. Here we go. It's a visitor. It's a visitor. They will all crowd here together. It's pretty incredible. And they let you hear them. Here they all come. Just the best. Just the best. The best. I love eye jellies. I love them. I love them. So again, lots of beautiful views from many, many different vantage points here. If you want to admire the beauty of eye jelly and the beauty of eye jelly inspired architecture, or, you know, just have some disco time, this is the place for you. You can have relaxing, you can have entertainment here. It's all to be had. So, one of the things I've built here is kind of a tribute room to Parvan. We've got Parvan's incredible bed here. This is no doubt the best bed. And I love Zeta's bed and I love Fred's bed. But this is simply the best. It is simply the best. I love this. The very first time I saw this, it was kind of folded up in his actual room, and I wasn't able to see that this is an amazing tribute to, you know, one of the all-time best Leviathans, Ghost Leviathan, and the very skull that I had such an adventure in the I keep saying the last, but not the last, in the first Subnautica playthrough. Good times, very good memories for me here. Good, terrifying memories. So I've got what I think, you know, are the best posters, and I'm sure Parvan would agree, the absolute best posters. Oh yeah, good times, good memories. Oh yes, it me. This is still one of my favorite posters of the game. I love it. Parvan's a big fan of Alien Intruder. Yeah. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Still a work in progress. And what does Parvan do when he wants, you know, to freshen up a little bit? He comes to his fabulous shower. With the most amazing view in the world. Parvan doesn't have a bathroom, like he doesn't have a toilet, but, you know, the shower is good enough, right? The shower and the entire ocean is good enough. Oh yeah, check it out. It's beautiful from every view. It's beautiful from every view. I have cultivated quite a lot of eye jellies, you know, to dominate this area. This is all for them. This is all for them. Okay, now let's head out over here. I'll show you this next section. I mean, you know, I kind of wanted to show off that I made a tank of my other, I have so many favorites. I keep saying my favorite, but like, I really do have so many favorites, but my other favorite little guys here. I was quite proud of this because they're hard to collect. They're hard to collect, but here we go, a little population. Isn't this stunning? Isn't this stunning? Look at all my friends. Look at all my sparkly, glowing friends here. So good. Alright, now there's a special feature at Disco Elysium that I want to show to you, but it's very exclusive. It's for members only. But you guys are members. You guys are members. So I'm going to teach you how to find this very, very exclusive club. There's a trick to it. There's actually no entrance unless you make your own entrance. And the key to it is having one of these. What you gotta do is stand at an appropriate distance back. Oh! You got over. Hey everybody, meet my resident sea monkey, my little jokester sea monkey that has made building here so much fun. The good times we've had, sea monkey, eh? Sea monkey, this single sea monkey hangs out here, and yeah, you know, many japes have been had. Anyway, love them. So what you do is you rebuild your hatch here. You gotta make your own entrance to get into this club. Done. But once you do, you are invited into the very exclusive listening bar based on, you know, currently very, very popular trending audiophile listening bars that have been popularized in Tokyo and are spreading around the world. We've even got a few in Melbourne here. Isn't this amazing? Plenty of places to hang out and listen to music. In fact, let's get it going. I should have a new piece of music here as well. This one, I think. I'm only going to listen to this for a bit, though. Wow. You can walk all around this room and still hear the music really well. Check it out. Okay, so it's more hip-hop. What I'm after though. Here we go. Is this. So as I was saying, lots of really nice areas to sit down and enjoy, have a chat with your friends. Lots of beautiful plants you can snack from if you want. It's free for members. There's a shaving kit here, so you can, you know, take care of your appearances, give yourself a little bit of a pampering. There's a kitchen that'll make nice meals for you based on the 3 available foods in the room. But you know, our chefs are very, very clever. They can do it, and because they wash their hands, they put things appropriately in the bin. Health and safety is very much taken care of here. All of the luxurious comforts that you can have under the ocean here, including another fabulous bathroom with a fabulous view. I mean, there's a pipe in front of it, but it's still a fabulous view. It's the best we can do. And again, you can wash your hands. In fact, you should. And, you know, for whatever reason, if you felt like it, you can give this local area a bit of aromatherapy. There's also some other snacks here as well, sometimes incorporated into the modern cuisine. You can come and stand in the corner if you're feeling a little bit, you know, like you just want to listen to the music and get away from other people. But there you go. An exclusive club at Disco Elysium on offer for members who have a builder tool. When you leave, you just gotta shut the door behind you. Put it back. So there we go. I'm very, very happy with Disco Elysium. I love spending time here. This is great. And these are all my friends the jellies. Yes, Come to me, my pretties. Come to me. Come to me. Okay, but that is not the end of the tour. We have more to see. Alright, I just fed up, but not fed up as in got fed up. I fed myself. I fed myself up. But we can travel to the next place from Disco Elysium. So we're just going to head up this way. The next stop on the tour. I hope you're enjoying this. I put a lot of effort offline into putting all of this together. And it's been so much fun. So much fun. Hey. God, they're amazing. They're amazing. So, yeah, as you've heard, I have so many favorite things in this game. Every time I'm faced with one of them, I'm like, this is my favorite. But then when I see another thing, I'm like, this is my favorite. But that's kind of just what this game inspires in me. Like, if you ask me what's your favorite area, I struggle because I have many favorite areas. But definitely, Glowwell Bay. Now that I've built my base there, Eye Jelly area, big favorite. But also the, as I was saying, the I never know what the official names are of things, but the area with the vent gardens. But check it out, here we are. Look at that, isn't that spectacular? What timing we got for my reveal here. Alright, this is my above ground base. Let me show you. So obviously, as you can see, this is the Phi research area, the Phi lab area, the Phi Robotics Center area, but it is now also my home in tribute to Skyray. There are stairs here when they decide to show up. Has this not been completed? Go away. We'll do without. It's daytime anyway.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
This base is my dedication to Skyray. Really, it's my dedication to a couple of things, but definitely Skyray. This is really based upon love for the Skyray, as well as, of course, my connection to this area, to my sister here, and all of her amazing work. So it's kind of, it's a few different tributes, but obviously I wanted to make it a little base in the sky, as much as I could. So we've got our power source here, we've got our scanner here. Now I had some difficulties with this one, in that, there's a few things that are left unbuilt here. Sorry about that. I think this is all titanium. Anyway, it still works as a window, right? It's just a window that's got a UV covering, a UV film over it, right? Just to to preserve your eyes and all of that from the harsh sun. Anyway, I had a few difficulties with this base, and I'll tell you what, one of them is that it just would not let me build above here. I wanted to go so much higher, but it simply would not let me no matter what I tried. So I don't know if there's simply a height limit here, or if I've come across some other issue. But that is the reason that I haven't gone higher. I planned to go all the way up, but this is what I was able to get to. Also an unbuilt. I've got to come back here with a little bit more glass and finish this off. Apologies, but everything is still a work in progress. Now this here, this is Sam. This room is dedicated to Sam. It's kind of, we call it Sam's room. We've got Sam's bed. Jump on it. I'm a sister, I'm allowed to do that. We've got Sam's necklace here, all of the pictures that were so meaningful to her, even though she weirdly ended up disliking this person. So I don't know if it might be a little bit weird to include this here. And of course, our very much still alive, beautiful kitty, and our penguin, and the plans for the spy penguin, all of that. And I think Sam would appreciate. She can get to the lab very easily. There's no commute here. She's got a beautiful view of the sky, and also, as you can see there, a beautiful view of the sky ray. Now, I wanted to create some possible places conceptually for the sky ray to nest, for the sky ray to settle down on. We might not see any in this particular episode. It may not happen, but it is certainly possible that the sky ray could sit on these structures. We can imagine that this is a thing that exists. We can imagine that this is a thing they can do when they so choose it. Now, you may notice a tunnel section here floating. That is a heritage feature of this area that exists because it just happened at some point and it just stayed there, and we assume it's just magic. We just assume magic is keeping it here, and so it's an important thing for science to come and study. So you can stand here and study it if you want. You cannot reach it. I mean, you could if you tried hard enough. This is a special roof that's designed to, prevent, to minimize UV exposure. So it's got a bit of a digital kind of film over it. It's very clever. It's very scientific. We've got a nice view out here. And of course, this extends around here as well. So you can look back. You can look back on the beautiful red base, look down at the lab, and come around here if you want to. There's plenty of room for extension. Look at that. Hey, sky rays. Hey, sky rays. Sky rays are also my favorite. I love sky rays. Also one of my favorites. Sky ray airy, by the way, I called this. I don't think I mentioned that. So, another base I'm very proud of. As you can see, still a work in progress. And one other thing. This room is dedicated to our savior, Antidote. I actually wanted to have Antidote sitting on a table in the center, and sort of, make this a shrine to it. However, I realized I can't put it on a table. So I had to build this. It has to go in a locker. But our savior, Antidote, the savior of the planet, goes here. And you may put your hand here, rub it over the locker, and wish for luck. For the luck to not have a planetary or galaxy-based bacterium infect everybody ever again. We'll see how that pans out, because there's another Subnautica game on the way. Who knows? But there you go, Sky Ray Airy. Very pleased with this one, but it's not the last stop on the tour. We're gonna go on. Okay. Oh, excuse me, as soon as I started talking. So before we move on, I just wanted to show you, I fixed that roof up there. I patched that, so you can see the place from this excellent angle over here. I haven't fixed this window yet, but we'll get there. All right. Now I'm going to show you the general direction that we're going in. That's fine. Happens all the time. I've got a nice callus on the top of my head now from that. We're going to head through the alien gate to our next destination. Dun, 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 dun. Of course, it's on this planet. It's not an alien destination. I'm gonna head up here. Wait. We're gonna do a little bit jump to get up here. So as you can see, we're heading deeper into the icy wilds for this next destination. We're in worm territory, people. Worm territory. Now, it's a little bit of a trek there, so I'm going to get us close. Okay, excuse me, it's dark. I've got my trusty flare. You can see we're in one of the spiky areas. This is actually kind of one of the most further, one of the farthest spiky area from kind of our main area. And here we reach Stalker Retreat. Stalker Retreat is what I have called this one. It is a small little place, cozy, homely, and the retreat part is important for several reasons. It's a retreat in that you can really come here to just get away, enjoy yourself, or you can get here, you can come here to literally retreat from, yes, the worms, but actually much more deadly in this position is in fact is hypothermia, but no, is actually the stalkers. While building here, I have been attacked by the stalkers 10 billion times. They are very, very aggressive. So truly, in every way possible, this is a stalker retreat. But once you're in, it is indeed a retreat. You can sit here, you can watch them, you can look at them getting frustrated and angry. And this one in particular, or maybe this one, they love to come to exactly this spot. They come to what I think of as my letterbox out there. I've got a little beacon. And they come and sit at my letterbox and they just roar. They just roar and roar, reminding me that if I step outside here without a flare for a second, they will tear my face off. And I appreciate the reminder because it reminds me of how lucky I am to be here in Stalker Retreat, where it's warm and comfy. It's very pretty. We are built right next to a waterfall. We have, of course, my favorite tank with no fish in it because there's absolutely nothing nearby. It's just a plant-based tank. Got a lovely little window out here. It's a bit dark to see out of. But you have really simple, all of the simple, I've also got the UV protection here as well, I see. It's a work in progress, it's getting there. You've got all of the comforts that you need here, lantern fruit, fevered pepper tree, beautiful bed. I liked this bed here because it reminds me of the ocean that we are actually very, very, very far away from here. Here we go. So we never forget the stalkers here. You might be able to forget the worms here, but you never forget the stalkers. Let's have a little sleep. Let's look up at our UV protection based ceiling here. Ah, beautiful. What a great sleep. But now we can look at this in the light of day. Stalkers have been here angrily roaring all night, as they love to do. And we've also got a little back entrance here, built right over the waterfall, over the frozen waterfall, which is extremely handy. This allows you to get up here quite easily. It creates a whole nother avenue of connectivity in this area, which has been so good because not only is this a little holiday retreat, a little place to get away, do some thinking, do some reflecting, do some writing, whatever it is you want to do, but this has also been completely marvelous for resource collection, because as you can see, I finally sort of figured out that I needed to use a propulsion gun to remove the rocks from these areas to pick up, like this, to pick up, I haven't gotten this one here, but I've done it everywhere else, to pick up the masses and masses of lithium that are in this area. I haven't needed much lithium here, but I've needed it in other areas. So in essence, this not only provides a really, really convenient point of access, through this area, connecting to otherwise difficult to get to areas, but also means that this place serves as a massive lithium mine for me to power my other bases. So it's extremely handy. And isn't it nice? quiet when the worms aren't, you know, impaling you. But as I said, it's never truly quiet from the stalkers. They're angry. They're angry little guys. Angry little guys down there. Okay, so stalker retreat done. To the next, my friends. And here we are, back at our home base, back at our home turf, Twisty Bridges, our Shallows home. This is more or less as it was. I have retained the heritage jankiness of this building as it was, with respecting jankiness itself as an important form of architecture. So this is Jankville. It's been formally named Jankville, with just minor alterations, just to introduce some new comforts. There we go, Jankville. Even the name itself is a bit janky. It's half in the water and half out of the water. These two things don't fit together, but this is in keeping with the spirit of jankiness. The janky school of architecture. This entranceway only is constantly half filled with water, but miraculously, not the rest of the room. It makes no sense, but again, this is what you get with janky architecture. This is what you get with janky architecture. You can splash about in the entrance here if you want to. Yeah, I love this home. I love my janky home. I thought this was a nice way to cap off the tour. I've shown you the bases that I've put a lot of effort into. Many hours of resource gathering and glass conversion and tunnel building and window building and ceiling building. Even though not all of the ceilings were completely finished, they were not far off. It was a lot of work I put into this. I wanted to show you guys like a few of my ideas for bases that I've sort of had while I've been going through this playthrough and having a really fun time. I wanted to put some of them into action. But this one, I really just wanted to keep it as it is, but just clean it up a little bit. So once again, we've created a little bit more space in here. We've tightened up the locker situation. There's very few now here, making room for just the beautiful, room full of windows of contemplation that I love so much. My Fred bed that I adore. I've neatened up my little garden area here. We still have the gallery, but the gallery itself is a little bit more compressed now. Some of the posters have gone to other facilities, other museums around the planet. Still got all of my little guys here, enjoying their half ocean, half atmosphere, lifestyle here. They can look at the moon. Look at this. You guys are living it up. They can look at a bin. They can look at the truck and the detached truck dock. Whatever. Sometimes I've also put a resident holefish here. Holefish, are you here? Holefish really likes to just kind of swim around the base, and so holefish comes and sort of like Ray is doing here. Holefish really likes to just come and say hi to everybody very slowly. Oh, here we go. It's holefish. It's holefish. Holefish just kind of swims around the base. It's great. Holefish is kind of like security. Really comforting security. Hey everybody. So that's Jankville. That's Jankville, everyone. I think that this was the appropriate way to finish off the tour. Just to sort of, to show you that I'm keeping it real here. I'm keeping it real with janky bases. I love janky bases. Janky bases are my thing. I think like my first base, my Shallows base, and if the next Subnautica game turns out to sort of be the same kind of, more or less the same format, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna build another janky Shallows home. It's just what I like to do. It's how I like to live. It's how I like to keep things real in this game. But I do hope that you've enjoyed getting to see a lot of the bases that I've, put a bit more creativity in, let's say. Hello, my little guys. So, in terms of other things, this is probably going to be the last episode. I don't know. I don't have any other big ideas for things to do. So unless somebody, has any other ideas, this will probably be it for this particular playthrough. And what that means is that we're all together waiting for the next Subnautica game to come out. And I mean, surely it can't be too far off. I really hope it's not. But either way, we're going to have a lot of other gameplay, a lot of other playthroughs in the meantime. If you haven't seen, I've just started Chants of Senar. Hey, Wholefish. Hey. Gosh, I feel like I've never really looked properly at the whole of the whole fish. And I literally didn't know until this second that you could use whole fish to replenish your oxygen. What the hell? Whole fish is getting stuck on the plane. Oh my god, it's doing a forward roll. Wow. Even at this stage, I'm literally learning basics. I did not know you could do that. Because the symbiotes kind of kept me away from the whole fish, to be honest. Like, usually I would get chomped up by symbiotes if I came near. But this is my resident whole fish. This is the whole fish I grew from an egg. So there's no symbiotes here to stop me from I'm so tickled by this, to stop me from getting close to whole fish. Wow. Yeah. So, we're all waiting for the next Subnautica game with bated breath together. I cannot wait. But I guess I'm going to have to. I guess we're all going to have to. But you better believe, of course, we are definitely playing it as soon as it comes out. Other than that, yeah, if anyone has any other ideas for things I can try to do, I'm happy to do another episode, but I kind of think that this is probably going to be it. So I thought at least what I would finish on is just a couple of thoughts. One is that I did have... Because, we're obviously past the blind part of the playthrough, that not only means that you can tell me things about this game, but it also means that I am free to look things up about this game. And so, I would prefer not to do that as much as possible, even at this stage, because I prefer if I can hear things from other people and maybe kind of get the hints sort of dribbled out to me, etc. But I was so intensely curious that let's head back in so I'm not worried about oxygen. I was so intensely curious that I wanted to look up how many of the PDA entries did I actually manage to get. And I didn't look into this too closely, but I think I ended up with sort of 4 PDA entries that I didn't find. So I actually found the vast majority of them. I think there's about 4, might be a little bit less, because it seemed like the guide that I was looking at seemed to be saying that some of the PDAs were things that you can't just sort of access in the game ordinarily. They're more PDAs that are kind of in the code and you have to use console commands to get them, which sort of doesn't really count, they're not intended to be in the game, you know what I mean? So I can't count them as I didn't find them if they're not actually intended to be a part of the game. So maybe there's about 4 that I didn't find, at least a couple. So there's that. I also looked at what about other things I didn't find. There were 2 creatures I didn't find, and I still literally don't know where they are. Sea monkey baby, my god, and another trivalve, but a gold one. I've got trivalve blue, but apparently there's a trivalve gold. So I still, through all of the adventures that I've been having offline, I still haven't found either of those. So no, I didn't look up where to find them. I was curious to see what was there yet to find, because I would love to still look around myself to try and find them. I think there's another plant that I haven't found. I don't know where that is, and a couple of alien artifacts. I don't know where they are either, and I don't have Alan to help me anymore, so maybe they are some things I can find. But yeah, other than that, I think I found the vast majority of things in the end. Whoa! Hey, Bladderfish saying hi, saying goodbye. So, I'm pretty happy with that. And I just thought I would also finish with a couple of thoughts on the game itself. So I've played original Subnautica. I've now played Below Zero. Honestly, for me, Below Zero really blew my mind from the start, and I had a great time with it. I have actually really loved this game. I don't really I adore original Subnautica. I adore this game. I don't really pit them in competition with each other, and I do know I've since sort of learned that the deal with this game is that it was originally kind of designed to be a part of original Subnautica, and that kind of makes a lot of things make sense, and that in fact some things from this game were added to original Subnautica, like the large room, etc. So I didn't know that, so that was interesting to learn. Anyway, I guess my feeling is, and I've said this before, I think they're a great complement to each other. And it makes sense that they're a great complement to each other if the original intention is that this would be kind of... I don't know if it was meant to be like a DLC or what. But if this was originally meant to be kind of just an expansion of original Subnautica, it makes a lot of sense. But it obviously is so much more. It's hard for me to... I do have, I suppose, some things in this game that I think don't work as well as they do in original Subnautica, but I have some things, I think things in this game work so much better than original Subnautica. So, I mean, one of the things that I was talking about in the comments was, the Leviathans didn't quite have as much impact as original Subnautica, and I do think that's true. I think, they were good, but nothing really kind of has the iconic presence and character of Reaper Leviathan. That is a special Leviathan, and I don't think it's just that it's kind of the first Leviathan. I think it really is so well designed to be so full of character in its visual design, in the way it's been incorporated into the game. No matter how many times I go back and encounter Reaper Leviathan, it is impressive and terrifying, and I am in awe of it. There's something very, very special about that. I think if the equivalent in this game of Reaper is the Chelicerate, the Chelicerate is a great Leviathan, but it doesn't work as, I suppose, the Leviathan of the game, you know what I mean? It just doesn't have that same Chelicerate. It's a little bit more of a... it seems a little bit more of just a generic danger that's around in the game. It doesn't have the character. I don't know how else to explain it. It doesn't quite have the character. So there's some things like that. I actually really, really, really... I know some people have some criticisms of the story in this game, and I can understand it. I've only sort of heard a little bit that the original writer isn't a part of this game. However, I really enjoyed the story of this game. I think it was a very exciting complement. I do agree that the writing itself and how can I put it? It's not a film, but the pacing of the way that parts of the narrative are revealed to you are not as strong and not as well balanced. In that, I think there's a lot of really amazing reveals, particularly in the earlier part of the game. And for example, I suppose I would say that when you do this big thing of completing Sam's work and getting the antidote to the dead Leviathan in the ice, it doesn't have, I suppose, the finality. It doesn't have the weight of impact that I feel like that moment kind of should have. It feels like it's being set up as being quite a big moment. We've been chasing Sam, we've been chasing Sam's goals, we've been trying to sort of help, fulfill them. It doesn't quite make good, I think, on the setup for that. However, it was still conceptually, I still really like what it did. Conceptually, I like that. I love the character that we were, Robin. I love that there were more people in this game. You know, like, it didn't need to copy original Subnautica in that regard. Like, it was interesting. Well, I mean, it did in a sense. We still mostly didn't encounter any actual human beings. But I think that the human beings had more, kind of created a lot more busyness in the narrative in this game. They felt a lot more present, a lot less disparate. Like, they were people who were all working together, you know, creating stories together. It didn't feel... It just has both are good, I think. Like, I love everything about the original narrative of Subnautica and the way that the different characters and their stories were told, but also kind of the foundation of them, how fragmented they were across space and time. It all worked. Mwah, chef kiss. I think in this game, they just couldn't do exactly the same thing, right? That would just... they had to do something different, and I think that the different direction that they took it in was a good one. I think it worked. That, like, you know, Altira has come here, you know, we're getting insights into the work that they've been doing, and of course, an enormous, very satisfying element in this game for me, like, so much so deeply felt, was being able to learn more about Marguerite and getting to actually meet her as a character. That was mind-blowing for me, and I don't think it was badly done. I think it was really well done. Once again, I feel like I kind of wanted that to go a little bit somewhere else, and for all I know, maybe it could. Maybe I've missed something. I haven't looked up, like, if I've missed parts of the story or things that I could have done. It's entirely possible. I do sort of wish that could have itself had a little bit more finality to it, but I'm still really I enjoyed the heck out of it. I enjoyed the freaking hell out of it. I really did. I like that so much. And you know, the whole alien compliment in this game, wonderful. I really liked it. It was so exciting. It was an amazingly exciting discovery. It was really satisfying to learn more about the architects in the way that we did, and I think it was well done in having an architect themselves trying to remember things about their culture and who they were, etc. It worked really well. It was very exciting, as you saw. It was very exciting, and I do think that one had a good finality to it. I liked it very much. I guess one of the other things, like, I really enjoyed a lot of the additions to this game. I actually really like the sea truck. I think that you know, the sea truck is our sea moth kind of equivalent, but plus it's not as zippy as the sea moth, and I love sea moth. Sea truck, I guess, it's still got a kind of a dynamic zippiness to it. You know, you can kind of choose how zippy you want it to be in a sort of a sense, but I think it works well enough. But I suppose one of the things I wish might have been a little bit more well balanced in this game, and maybe this is something we'll see in the next Subnautica, is, for example, there are so many amazing upgrades in this game, but I ended up finding so many of them so close to the end of the game that I didn't really get much of a chance to use them. And that's maybe an area that I think it would have been nice to, for example, find some of these particular upgrades early. Now, that might just be my experience of it. I don't know which... I've obviously, when I do blind playthroughs, you know, I experience them in whatever way I experience them. And inevitably, I'm doing things in you know, often very different orders and very different kind of pacing to other people. No doubt that's been the case in this game as well, especially with how late I went to the Fine Robotics Lab and things like that. However, there is also just that kind of basic game design element in terms of, you know, the developers are able to put certain things kind of conceptually further into the game because of how difficult they are to reach, or what you need, you know, the strings of things you need to be able to reach them. And in that sense, yeah, there were some things that are sort of discovered late, you know, kind of inevitably a little bit late in the game, and it's hard to necessarily make good use of those tools. But again, even as I say that, I can also imagine that that's a bit of a me thing, because I think with some discoveries, I probably got really lucky. I think in retrospect, I got incredibly lucky to find the red barrel intake. Seek some intake. To find the red barrel area when I did. In retrospect, I think that's probably going to be a much harder area for most people to find, and I just happened upon it quite luckily. So things like that, I think, probably sped things up for me a bit. But yeah, nevertheless, I still really liked it. One of the things I just have to shout out so hard is how beautiful this game is. That made an impression on me from the start, and literally the scene that we see in front of us, has made such an impression on me. This whole starting area in itself is so beautiful, and there are so many other beautiful areas as well. Like, I really, really was very impressed, and I'm still impressed with how gorgeous this game is, and it makes me so even more excited about the possibilities of the next game. I mean, I don't need it to be better than this. You know what I mean? This is enough. This is enough. Like, just more of this, just more ideas at this level, I'm very, very happy with. But yeah, I'm excited to see where they take things in the next game. But this game really, really stunned me with how pretty it is. It's just pretty. It's just pretty. And I love spending time here, as I do still in original Subnautica. So in short, I loved it. I think despite some sort of like minor criticisms here and there, yes, I think, a couple of things here and there could have been better done, but I still had a great time in this game. And I'm very, 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 very much looking forward to the next one. And also looking forward to just coming back to this, going back to original Subnautica. Like, there's no way I'm not going to come back into these games regularly and spend time, because one of the wonderful things about these games is how amazing it is to just simply spend time here, even when you're not doing anything, even when you're not solving mysteries, finding new things, building. When you are just going, look at this, when you are just going around and spending time here, it is so lovely. And that is one of the marks of great games of this kind that I truly, truly appreciate and admire. So this game, hello, one of my favorites. I love Rays. All right, I've got to go and eat something in game and out of game, so I'll leave it here. But thank you so much, everyone, for being a part of this playthrough, for coming yet again, if this is your second time, or for the first time if this is your first time, on a Subnautica journey with me. I hope that you'll join me for some other playthroughs, and I certainly hope, if you haven't, I always appreciate a like for the video, but if you haven't, subscribe to the channel, because if nothing else, even if none of the other playthroughs I do are of interest, I hope you stick around for the next Subnautica game. It should be coming out this year, right? pending additional drama, it should be coming out this year. So thank you so much, everyone, for being a part of this playthrough. It's been so much fun having you here. It's been so much fun hearing from you. I look forward to hearing from you again. I hope you have enjoyed this final episode, potential asterisk, but thank you, and let's all continue to love Subnautica together. Yay! Bye-bye, take care.